before we begin, can you give a normal introduction of yourself to all the people who are listening right now?
Yeah, interesting exercise. Usually, I ask that to people.
Yeah.
I'm Martin. I am a maker since 10 years. I'm French, and I'm living now building my SaaS. I have two
Yeah.
currently. One is CapGo, and the other one is CapTime. One is a mobile app for customers doing CrossFit, so it's a
Yeah.
CrossFit timer, CapTime. And the other one is CapGo. It's a tool for developers who publish hybrid apps on app stores, such as
Yeah.
Capacitor. I help these developers push update faster to the users by
Yeah.
bypassing App Store review.
Yeah. And like, what does scap time do specifically? If you are in the specifications.
CapTime is a simple timer. You know, when you do sport like CrossFit,
Yeah.
you need specific kind of timer, and especially in CrossFit, you need kind of Tabata timer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And CapTime is just an app making this timer looking like the one you have in the CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Because usually the apps are very like making their own experience, while mine is just about making the exact experience you have when you were in the CrossFit gym.
Yeah. So when did you? So you launched CapGo first, and after that you launched CapTime, or
No, no,
was
no.
it
CapTime
like
is
this?
an old project. It's CapTime has 5 years old, and
Yeah.
I didn't earn money at the beginning with CapTime because it was just a demo of
Yeah.
what I was doing. So
Yeah.
basically, I did that for because I was building a startup studio, and
Yeah.
I needed to show my work. And since all
Yeah.
the work I did before was made for clients, so I decided to build my own app
Yeah.
to showcase my work. And then it became very well used. And at one point, I was like, maybe I should make it paid. That's how it starts to be a SaaS.
Yeah. For CapTime, is it a free app or how much is the like subscription fees?
I didn't understand the question.
I'm asking, is CapTime a free app or is there subscription fees in place, and what is the
No, no,
subscription?
no. At the beginning, it was a free app. Then
Yeah.
I put a download fee. When you download, it
Yeah.
was paid. And then I
All
removed the
right.
download fee. And now you
Yeah.
have a subscription into the app. So the app where you can use it for free for 7 days. And then it's
Yeah.
$30 a year.
Wow. All right. So it's like a free trial. After
Yeah,
the free trial,
exactly.
you start charging. So how, like, are you solo doing this solo, or do you take help of some developers, some people?
That's a right question. As you know, I have made the solo podcast. It's because like I
Yeah.
truly believe we can do things in solo. I've done
Yeah.
before in my life, been a developer into the team. I've been a CTO,
Yeah.
and I didn't like much working all the time with people because I don't like
Yeah.
meetings. I don't like talking a lot.
Yeah.
I'm more kind of introvert in a way.
Yeah.
So being all the time like brainstorming with people didn't fit for me. So I decided to quit everything, a position I had,
Yep.
to do everything in solo.
Yeah. So you are a free bird.
Exact.
um. So like CrossFit, like I'm sorry, Cap Time. It's a pretty
Yeah.
simple app. To what
Exactly.
on
Yeah.
the surface. So are people ready to pay for it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
Currently, is making 700 bucks a month.
oh, that's good.
So yeah, yeah. And the point is, there are no. It took me time to understand that, but people don't care about the complexity of the app.
Yeah.
People want something solve their problem, and the
Yes,
problem
for
I'm
sure.
solving with CapTime is very simple. It's
Yeah.
people like to go to the CrossFit gym because they have an experience there. There are the groups, there are also the gym. It look like people
Yeah.
doing CrossFit like the feeling of they feel strong. That's why they do
Yeah.
CrossFit, because they want to feel
Mm-hmm.
strong, and they have a strong mindset, and the gym look like designed for that. You want
Yeah.
to feel you're strong into the gym, and when you cannot go to the gym, you have a problem. Like you don't have your community, and your house doesn't look like a strong environment.
Yeah.
So the only things who is related to CrossFit is the timer you're gonna use, and most of
Yep.
timer don't understand that culture of strongness. So they just do a nice modern UX where people search for something looking strong, bold,
Yeah.
and that's why my timer is different and solve the problem for them. It's because the all the design, all the complexities into the design, we find
Yeah.
ways to make it look like the one in the gym and also look like bold and strong. And even when you open the app the first time, you have some quotes about be bold or be strong, things like that. Everything is made to make people feel in this app this is they are strong and they're using a strong tool. So
Yeah.
that's just the problem I solve. It's like give a feeling what people need. The timer they don't care about it. You see,
Yeah.
it's just like they need the tool to feel they are doing CrossFit.
Yeah. It's more of a
Uh,
mindset kind of thing rather
Exactly,
than.
exactly. And the code of the app is not so hard. I made it in the first time, I made it in 2 weeks because it was more complex than that until I understood like the app should be more simple because people don't care about. I tried to make a social network of CrossFit or whatever. I dropped
Yeah.
all the useless feature to keep just the timer, and then the app start to work well.
Yeah. What marketing channels are you using for cap time?
For cap time, basically, I only do. I, I don't know if I can do that, but I can say I do that. But I did optimize the
Yeah.
ISO, so it's like SEO for mobile apps in the app
Yeah.
stores.
Yeah.
That's the only one things I did optimize, and mostly it's people talking to others, showing the app they use. That's how
Yeah.
I got downloads, I believe.
Yep. Word of mouth and App Store
Yeah,
and Play Store optimization.
exactly.
So do you think that word of mouth is still relevant like in 2023? Do you think word of mouth works for people?
I mean, it's relevant to a certain point. I'm not millionaire with this app, so probably there are better channels if I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But by being solo, I don't need million.
I'm
Around
sorry.
$7.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but
Yeah.
take your farther away from your mic. Not audible.
Ah, okay. Okay,
Yep.
I'm back.
Yes. Yep.
Sorry, I was switching the light because it was starting to be dark.
All right. No problem. You continue.
Do you hear me better?
Yep. Yep. Now it's absolutely fine.
Okay. So what I was saying is the marketing channel I have, it's not really like a big channel. Like
Yeah.
Captime could probably have way more success if I was putting ads, but I did try, for example, ads, but I didn't understand much how to do ads because I don't like ads. Like I have ad blocker everywhere in my phone,
Yeah.
Mac, and everything. So that's a business I don't like, and I wish sometimes he doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
So uh, that's something I couldn't do very well for that reason. So I tried, but I didn't manage to have more like new client than without ads. So the effect was
Yeah.
barely zero, and
Yeah.
I was paying like 200, 300 bucks a month for ads.
Yeah.
So that didn't work much, and mainly the word of mouth is the most common one because people really like the app and then
Yep.
talk to others, and that's work. like
Yeah.
to make this kind of money. I could do more. Like I could probably have way more money if I was doing way more things. But right now, in Captain, put a line of code on it since 2 months, 3 months.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's also, it's kind of passive income. So of
Yep.
course, i- it's not
So you
big
are
revenue.
you're at 1,000 MRR right now. What is your MRR right
2000,
now?
yeah, in total.
2,000. Ah, all right.
Yeah,
So which,
Ca-
yeah, go ahead.
Capgo is making 1,400. Yeah.
Yeah. So like let's talk about Capco. So in simple terms, what is it? Like in simple words, what does Capco really do?
Uh, Capgo send app updates to your users. Like if you have an app who is compatible with the right technology, I
Yeah.
do send for you updates to them
Yeah.
fast, like instant. Instead of
Yeah.
when you want to update an app on the app stores, it
Yeah.
takes in review time between 1 to 5 days, plus in deployment time 10 days around. Like not everyone has Wi-Fi, not everyone is connected.
Yeah.
The like the Google Play Store and the App Store are very lazy to download the updates. So sometimes
Yeah.
it takes days to download it.
Yep.
So you can expect like 90% of your users have the update after 20 days, something like that. While with my system, on your daily user, 90% of them have the update the same
Yeah.
day. So you change from 20 days updates to one day update. That's what makes the service very like
Mm.
impressive for people, because if you have a bug into your app, you are in the past way you were waiting 20 days with your bug, so it means you cannot get money maybe, or you're losing money. That's very cool, while with my system you just send an update, done, you fix your issue, no support problem, not losing money, nothing.
Yeah. Like I saw on your website, it is open source, 100% open
Yes,
source. Yeah.
exactly.
So
The
like I
last
always,
company I
yeah, go
was
ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the last company I was CTO, we start to build an open source project, and I saw the power of making open
Yeah.
source things. Like I saw all the communities like more willing to pay for your service even because they know if tomorrow you die, they don't lose everything.
Yeah.
While other solution have been existing for the same problem as the one I'm fixing, and they have disappeared. So yeah, definitely that's reassuring people, and they can also read the code, fix it. One of the biggest problem of Capgo at his early days was have been fixed by a developer who was paying my solution. So he was paying, and then he
Yep.
he code and fixed one of the biggest problem of Capco.
Yeah. Yeah. Open source, do you think, in your opinion, it is better than closed source, like in some areas, or and what are the like the pros and cons of building an open source project, in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
opinion?
I think if you build a tool which is near to like the ecosystem of developers, definitely build open source is the best way.
Yeah.
Like for example, analytics still near to developers. Like my tool is destined to developers, so this kind of stuff is the best way. Like
Yeah.
doing open source, because the community you're gonna have, it's people know already good about open source.
Yep.
In the other side, Captime, for example, is still closed source,
Yeah.
because there are few chains open source makes sense for, like, maybe on the community of CrossFit people, there are few developers, but there are not many developers.
Yeah.
But that, on the other side, that will bring a lot of people with maybe bad intention to
Yep.
just copy paste Captime. You see?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Got it. So it depends, in your opinion, upon what kind of app a person is building.
Yeah, definitely depends.
Yeah,
I will try to do open source also for apps. Um,
yeah,
I will definitely try, but I'm not sure this is a smart way of doing it.
yeah, for sure. But like there are some apps which are open source, but it's kind of like the strategy, which I guess the person building it is has in mind. Because
Sorry, I didn't understood the question.
no, no, I was just telling something that
Oh,
like it's
okay.
kind of a strategy a person has in mind.
Yeah, yeah, it's the strategy. Also, the tool I am building on top of it has
Yeah.
made the same feature as me, but this specific feature is closed source. So I am competing against him by doing it open source. So I give more
Hmm.
trust compared to him. So it's an easy edge.
Yeah. 100%. Like, apart from these projects, what else are you working on right now?
I'm working on Solos, the podcast,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I share my journey making my product, and I meet
Yeah.
other makers to talk about specific
Yeah.
specific question you have as a solo maker.
Yeah.
I did a podcast in French about people doing bootstrapping their company, and I did 100 episodes for that. And then I
Yeah.
decided to stop that because now everything I do is in English. My client is in English also. So,
Yeah.
and my community where I belong, everything. So I decided to continue a bit the podcasting, but in a way like it's even more niche than before. Before I was doing just
Yeah.
bootstrapping people, and now I'm just people in solo because after years I discovered that's what I
Yeah.
wanted. So I rebuilt a new project with solo.
Hmm. Got it. So when are you
Uh,
launching another episode? Releasing?
One episode appear every week. One will be tomorrow with Cheyenne, the maker of Logsnag.
Yeah.
And next week it will be an episode in solo with me.
Yeah.
And next week it will be with Mark Louvion, who is
Yeah.
building Habit Tracker, Habit Garden,
Yep.
an Habit Tracker app.
Yeah.
And then I
I've
don't know.
heard.
And
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah. We surely listen to it. Seems kind
Thanks.
of interesting right now.
I've also made a few other projects. I have a game which is in French about
Yeah.
mimicking expression.
Yeah.
Like you have common expression, sometimes funny. So the game is to mimic expression. I will probably do it in English as well because
Yeah.
I have a lot of downloads. Um,
Yeah.
I've also made during Christmas in 5 days IA project with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
We were thinking to do something for Christmas since we were in Bali. We didn't have family and everything, so we decided to build this project named
Yeah.
IA Holiday cards. The
Yeah.
point is you put picture of you and your girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then you receive IA pictures with a Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
Um, so it was fun to build, but we
Yeah.
didn't get any sales on that because
Yeah.
this is a complex things to ask. We were asking like between 20 or 30 picture of you and your partner
Yeah.
in different settings. You don't not the
Yeah.
same picture and everything. So that has a bit been complex for people. And also we don't have like a big funnel of marketing. Just what we did was launching on Product Hunt. It was
Yeah.
fun, but we saw that that's something we don't want to do more. But we're gonna use the skills we have learned and
Hmm.
the ability to work together as a first step to do other project, probably a mobile app together.
Yeah. So did you use AI for that for this
Yeah,
Christmas
mm,
project?
yeah, yeah. We did use the stable diffusion.
Uh, so like talking about AI, what are your thoughts
Yes,
on like the things created by OpenAI, all these Chat
like
GPT and all
ChatGPT.
these stuff? Yep.
ChatGPT is very interesting. I've used it myself for a few things. Like it even helped me to solve SQL issue I had in
Yeah.
CapGo. So
Yeah.
very useful. I'm willing to see the day where they will make it paid because right now it's very painful to use. It's always
Yep.
like overused. So it's say
Yep.
please wait. Not very
Yeah.
fun. And on other side, like I wish they made an API for that, but
Yep.
I'm still not sure how we're gonna use that. I've tried to use the API for GPT-3 already. Was
Yep.
working well, but it's still difficult to find very good usage because
Yep.
most of the things are generated, so it's difficult to put also an smart things like coded things on top of it. Like
Yeah.
it's not easy to mix both of the like
Yeah.
code and IA.
Yes. For sure.
So I'm keep looking onto it, and let's see how it go.
Yeah. It is. It is really interesting right now where they are,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they are
I
doing.
truly believe like many uh, work who are very repetitive right now will disappear because of
Yep.
IA, and that's
Yep.
amazing. People are scared about that, but for me, that's amazing because people will start to do interesting things
Yeah.
instead of repetitive one.
People are afraid that it will replace programmers. What are your thoughts on that? Like
No, I
ChatGPT will
think
replace. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the same as are we afraid Stable Diffusion will replace artists?
Yeah.
There are still people doing the prompt, so it's
Yeah.
just a different tool. It's a higher level tool. You know,
Yep.
now if you want, you can draw on your iPad.
Yep.
So are you still an artist or not? Because you don't know maybe how to draw with a pencil. And
Yeah.
that's my case, for example. I don't like to draw with pencil, but I like to draw with iPad. So do I am an artist or not?
Yeah.
I think if you see that as a new tool, then it will still have developers. Just developers will be people who assemble different
Yep.
kind of stuff from GPT-3, from others. They would just do like kind of a mashup. There will be mashup developers instead of developers who wrote thousands of line of code, which is also repetitive in a way, and we don't want to
Yeah.
do that. So I'm willing the days I will not need to work to wrote a thousand of line of code and forget a comma and nothing works and I don't know for what.
Yeah.
There are no point of that. It's just like using not as the best with the time we have.
Yep. For sure. So, so it's more of like an assistant rather than a replacement. Do you think that?
Yeah, yeah. I think the time where we're gonna have like doing things from themselves from zero, it's far. Like
Yeah.
right now, we are able to replicate part of how a brain works, but
Yeah.
getting to the point like having a full IA working as a brain human, it's very
Yeah.
far. So
Yeah.
until then, we will not have like lost all jobs or anything. We just have like simple, simpler jobs, like more interesting jobs. That's it.
Yep. For sure. Mm. So, like, what message or what would you like to tell all the young builders who are just
Mhm.
starting out and just who have just started on their journey?
I'm proud of you. Like I saw more and more people like you starting to build younger and younger. I'm
Yeah,
amazed by that. That's amazing because early you start, early you're gonna have success in what you're doing. You know,
yeah,
like I don't know if you know these things about investment, but if you start to put $1 in the side,
yep,
and
yep, yep,
now you're gonna be a millionaire at one point faster than me because you're the compound interest. And the same
yeah,
for building project. You're building compound interest if you keep doing it for your life. So
yeah,
just keep doing. That's amazing, and that's helping the world also to have
yep,
more makers, more younger.
yep. That's great advice.
Mhm.
Like I so like my last question would be, why did you start and when did you start? Like, why and when?
Why? Why? Because I got inspired. I got
Yeah,
inspired by one the 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 director of my school in France. I went to a coding school,
yeah,
and he was an entrepreneur guy. In his soul, he was an entrepreneur. So he was showing us a lot of things about entrepreneurs, and that piqued my interest. And then I start to see some videos of Oussama Amar, which is a French entrepreneur,
mm-hmm,
very famous, and
mm-hmm,
that taught me a lot about entrepreneurship and the way it is. So I've been very interested in that since then, and I've started building my project. So it was 10 years ago, something like that, and then from this date, I never stopped building my things. Even I was a freelancer or an employee. I was only 6 months an employee, but whatever. Even during this time, I had my own project.
yeah, yeah. So you started in school
Yeah,
when you in
exactly.
yeah. And how long
Yeah,
was
I
that?
start.
How long ago?
And the school was 5 years, and I start the second years.
No, got it. So
And
yeah,
the third years I was full time on my project mainly,
yeah,
and sometimes getting to the school to have to pass the exam and stuff like that. But we
yeah,
were like full time on the
yeah,
project. Oh, and um,
yeah,
and the third years at one point the project was growing well, so people start to drop the school and work full time on the project really. And for me on my side, my parents were like, it could be cool to finish the school because we paid for that. Shit.
yeah,
So please, please finish it. And so I went abroad. It was necessary from the school to leave France to go somewhere abroad. So I went in Finland. And when I arrived
yeah,
in Finland, I got a job as freelancer. So I start to be full-time freelancer and sometimes getting to the school again to
yeah,
to get the exam. And
yeah,
then the 5 years I was totally freelance, and I was like struggling to get the school done, but it was doable almost.
yeah. So you consider dropping out of school?
Yeah, I definitely consider it a lot myself because school is something very helpful and in the same way very painful.
Yeah,
So you never know if like you want to drop now and have the problem of an adult now, or wait a bit because while you are in school you have some kind of kindness from the world, like you are a student, so everything is cheaper for you. uh, you have more help, like people, you have a good excuse to ask from people, from company, anything,
yeah,
because you are a student, so you can ask like a company to say, oh, I'm a student, can I have a special price? Oh, I am a student, can I ask you a few questions because I find your work interesting?
yeah,
Whatever. So being a student is an amazing gift, but in the same time, school, it's a bit deprecated.
yeah,
So you're not like learning as you want. yeah, it's very like for me it was very painful experience. Even I was in a great school. It was a private school. I paid myself. I did a loan like in the
Yeah.
bank to pay this school because my family was not rich enough to pay me a school 10,000 a year. So I had to do a loan. So it
Yeah.
was way better than a public school, but it was still very painful and not fitting what my needs, because school
Yeah.
is not made to fit your need. It's made to be in the median, working for a bit,
Yeah.
like for everyone.
Yeah.
But I still believe that's a huge chance, and by being student, you can do projects. If you're doing project like a very, you're not playing video games the whole day, and instead you are working on your own project. You can try, and that'll work for me. I went to the school and say, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't to the class because I was doing my project with looking in the same field. Like I was doing
Yeah.
code and entrepreneurship project while my school was about entrepreneurship and coding. So
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, you're a bad student, but we can find a way for you." If you ask nicely and you show how great is what you're doing, you can have some favor. So that's
Yeah.
what I did, and it worked pretty well. And that's something it's more hard to do in as you were working for a company, for example, because they will be, "Yeah, I don't care, I pay you." While in
Yeah.
school, I was paying the school, so
Yeah.
they were more like easy. So I think
Yeah.
that's if you hack the system, that's the best way for me. If you understand it and hack it for your own benefit,
Yep.
then that's the best tool ever.
Yep. For sure. 100%. Yeah. So, Martin, before we finish this up, would you like to say anything? Like to add anything?
Thank you to have me on the show. It was nice to
Yeah.
see um, a young boy making podcast and making his freedom. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. And
Thank you.
you have good questions. So thanks for that. If someone is interested on what I am doing, check my Twitter, Martin Donadieu.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you will put it in the description.
Yeah. I
And
will.
check the podcast also. Thanks.
Thank you for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed it.